Hello, people of the internet, Boardzack here, and welcome back to yet another YouTube video. And in today's video, we are doing day 17 of the LEGO City 2024 Advent Calendar. Now, I am back from my short little trip, so the 3 videos that I filmed back to back should fully be out now, and we are back to daily videos. However, something I forgot to mention in the last couple of videos is I'm leaving for another trip in a couple of days where I will be gone up until Christmas and past Christmas. So the last couple of episodes will be filmed back to back as well. So on my end, it'll be a little marathon, you know, finishing the calendar. But there's quite a few days before I need to do that. So I'm not super worried about it at the moment. But I wanted to let that be known, so it's something that doesn't catch you off guard in the future. I don't know if anyone pays attention to that, but sometimes I feel like it's kind of obvious when I film them back to back because, you know, the lighting's the exact same, everything's the same. So I just wanted to let that be known. In the last video, I believe we got this little snowmobile. I forgot there was a helmet on it, which was unironically the best build we have gotten out of the Advent Calendar. And I hope you realize how sad that is because there's nothing impressive about this dinky little thing, but it's like the most thorough build we have gotten, and we're on day 17 now, which it's a little sad. You know, I've been no stranger to complaining about, and I can't get the helmet to go on there, complaining about this year's Advent Calendar. I was glad to see I'm not the only one who thought that this bunny for day, was that 15, was the most absurd thing of all time. So with all the yapping out of the way, I have spotted day 17. It's right over here on the bottom row. So I'm going to move the little girl on her skis and see what's in day 17. And we got Mrs. Claus. Okay, so I accidentally kind of found out about this minifig through one of the comments, which don't feel bad. It's not like you spoiled it. I knew at one point that she was in this Advent Calendar. I just kind of forgot. So here's the thing. I'm sick of getting the minifigs out of this Advent Calendar, but if you've watched the previous Advent Calendars, you will know I am a massive fan of the holiday minifigs. And if I am not mistaken, this is a very much new Mrs. Claus minifig. Ignore the Joy-Cons. So I'm going to reserve my anger about this one because this is a minifig, but this is a new minifig. I am almost certain this torso and legs are brand new. I just realized my phone's on that crummy little micro camera. I'm going to try and get it to switch out. There we go. So not only is the torso and legs new, I don't think this head is new, but it sure fits really well. And I don't have this head. And yeah, that just might be the best Mrs. Claus we've gotten. See, I know how to be positive. I can be positive. This is a really good figure. Does she fit in at all with what's going on in this Advent Calendar? Absolutely not. Mrs. Claus feels like she jumped out of a much better Advent Calendar and has entered this awful one that we're in the middle of. But, as is tradition, I do have to go to my closet and find one of my little storage minifig containers and get all the other variants because there's a lot. So, bear with me. Okay, I've got one of my little tins out, and I have to dump it out on the floor. But then, after I do that, okay, I've got all the figures dumped out. Just let me find them all, and then I can compare and contrast these figures. Okay, I think I have all of them in my hand right now, but I'm going to quickly make sure I'm not missing any. Yeah, I think I've got them all right here. So, before I continue, I am going to be including the Santa variants, which I may or may not bring back at the end. Whether or not, of course, it's going into the crappy little camera again. I want it to pick up on something that's not small, so it'll get out of that mode. I hate that it does this. Okay. Are we back? Okay, we're back. Okay. So, you got some of these Santa minifigs. I brought out the 3 that I have on hand. I am missing one, right? There's a dark red one that came in the Build-A-Minifig stations. I never got it. I don't go to the Lego store very much anymore, so I missed out on it. This is still my favorite here, the original, just for nostalgic reasons. But these two, while a lot of details look the same, these are different torso prints. One has dual molded legs, etc., etc. They are not relevant. I felt like bringing them out because all of them kind of correlate with a Mrs. Claus variant. But one thing I do need to mention, I have modded these a little bit. So these are not all one-to-one. But we got 1 Mrs. Claus, 2 Mrs. Claus, and 3. So I kind of forgot about this one. I'm pretty sure we got her last year, and that is the same head and hair. So when I said I don't have the head and hair, I just forgot about this figure. This one is so much better, though. I love the dress piece. I am super impressed with that and happy with that. And this one is still really good. This is more of like a, you know, if she was, like, I think she came with a snowboard last year. This looks more like casual wear. And this is like what you would expect Mrs. Claus to wear. And then this figure here, I gave her the candy cane and everything. This figure originally had this head. This head that she has is from a completely different CMF. I just thought it was like perfect for this figure. Because I mean, it just fits so well with all the little shiny bits. But the main thing to compare is the torso print. This came from Santa's Workshop, which I did have way back in the day, and I wish I still had put together. And then this came from the Build-A-Minifig station, and this came out with this pink elf, which I still love that we got this. You can't tell, I'm a big nerd over the holiday minifigs. There's a few I'm missing, and I really need to go and get a hold of those, because I love collecting the variants of Mr. and Mrs. Claus, or Santa Claus, Mrs. Claus, whatever. It's just nostalgic, you know. Connects me to my childhood, just how exciting it used to be when you would get a new Santa minifig each year in the advent calendar. Of course, now I've got so many that I don't think a whole lot about it. But yeah, so these two obviously are identical. It's just a color swap. This one's a lot better because it's shiny, but I appreciated getting a variant. And I don't remember exactly how this came. I'm pretty sure it was just this head on this body, and then I think this one came with the gray hair but then had a vastly different head. I don't really remember, but I want you to just take my word on this being the 4 variants of Mrs. Claus in Lego, and I am overjoyed to say, for once this year's advent calendar has not messed up. This is the best Mrs. Claus, in my opinion, and I'll take her book from her for a moment. I love this one, especially if you pair her with the more recent, I'm trying not to just totally get off path here, the more recent Santa Claus. They go together so incredibly well. Now, this advent calendar, I doubt will give us a new Santa, but it might give us one that's more meant to complement her. You could also sub in this Santa, and he would go fine with it. Because the way I viewed it previously was that, you know, these two were a pair, Classic Santa was a pair, and then these two were just kind of the odd ones out, so they became a pair. But now I've got this superior Mrs. Claus, who I think kind of takes this Santa from me. But I've got another Santa who came with the sleigh set, and maybe I'll bring that up, which I don't remember. But, you know, this is a tangent, right? Anyway, I'm really excited about this minifig. I'm really happy. I was kind of like overjoyed when I saw the comment who said that we were getting a Mrs. Claus figure. I knew that at one point because, you know, when they reveal these, I do see everything that's in it, but they reveal them like over half a year before they come out. So by the time they come out, I've completely forgotten everything about it. So at one point I knew she was in this, but I also don't think I ever really looked at this one, because I don't really look at the calendar as much anymore, because it's like, yeah, I'm going to buy it to make the video. So, you know what, Lego? I'll give you this one. If some of your budget went into giving us this minifig, I'm going to forgive a couple things you've done. There's one thing I can't forgive, which is this awful abomination here. But I can forgive some of the lazier entries, because I understand Lego's budget can be a little tight sometimes, and I don't believe these elements are from any other set. Now, if I'm wrong, I take it all back, and I might look it up after I finish this video. But I am happy with this. Now, as to where I want to put her, I have literally no idea, because I don't really think the families should be seeing, you know, Mr. and Mrs. Claus. So I don't just want to make her like creepily looming outside, but my thought is perhaps moving the whole family indoors, including the girl in her skis. So I'll leave the skis out here. And I guess with under that standard, the snowboard should be outside too, which I guess does populate the outdoor area a little bit. And then I might make the little girl have her bunny, you know, since I think it's not much of a surprise. The parents didn't wrap it, and Lego was super lazy. So maybe she's checking out her new toy. Right. Yeah, I think I'm happy with that. And then maybe the dad's actually being a decent father, and he's over here with the mom and the baby. And you know what? It's a little crowded, but I don't hate it. What do I want to do differently? Would this make any sense in here? And I would just leave the bowls in here, even though the cat bowl is still in there, and just have the dog just chilling on his own, just to populate the space a little. You know what? I think I'm okay with that. I think I like that. You know, it's a little busy, but I think this is fine. Now, I haven't actually placed Mrs. Claus yet, so she is just kind of creepy back there, isn't she? She's got a naughty and nice book, so maybe, you know, it's no secret, right? I remiss to believe Santa would deliver gifts that aren't wrapped, which is why I'm coming after the parents here. You know what? I think I'm going to take it all back. What if this is taking place on Christmas Day? This is after the gifts have been delivered and they've been opened, and that's why all the kids have sweaters on. Oh. You know, that doesn't forgive any of this. This is still a disappointing advent calendar. That makes so much more sense now. So much more sense. Even why the kid would be giving the cat a huge fish and the dog a big bone, right? And why the dad's over here eating treats and stuff. Yes, okay. Suddenly, I can make more sense out of the scene here. So why is Mrs. Claus on patrol? God, her head is on there tight after the... I'm trying to move the figure's head a little bit, and geez, it is just not wanting to cooperate with me. You know, why is Mrs. Claus on, you know, watch after Santa's already done his duty? I don't know. But forgive me, I'm trying to it's hard to make Mrs. Claus stand up while holding the book, but I feel like she needs to have the book because it's her accessory. So yeah, maybe she's just, you know, kind of creepily looking inside, like making sure they're happy with their gifts. And you know what? I am actually happy with this layout. So I think I'm going to end it here because I'm looking at the recording time. This is 15 minutes long. I'm so sorry if there's any of you who expect these to be quick and you can go about your day, because I start yapping when it comes to Santa variants, and depending on what they give us, I might continue yapping. However, I'm not going to hold my breath for another Santa variant. But it does kind of tell me that I need to get the dark red Santa, which unfortunately, given the state of the U.S. Postal Service right now, there is no way I could have him here before the 24th, not to mention I'm leaving in a few days yet again. So maybe that'll be a comparison for later. Maybe I'll just do a separate video, but it would not be in December, so I don't know. But I do need to get that Santa, I think, and just, you know, be a more proper assessment of the variants, I think, because there's plenty of variants I don't have, like the older figures that aren't printed, which I don't have any interest in, but maybe there's something to be said there. Maybe there's something to be done. So I kind of have the sproutling of an idea in my head. So yeah, that all being said, I think I'm going to end this one off here. I want to thank you all so much for watching, the continued comments and support. I know I say the same thing in every video, but like genuinely from the bottom of my heart, it means a lot to me. I do read every comment. I pay attention to the views. I don't really care how many views my videos get, but when they perform well, I'm really excited about it. And I look at the likes, you know, all those little things that might not matter to a lot of people do matter to me. So thank you all for the constant support, you know, the likes, the nice comments. I understand this. I have been away from the channel a lot this year. And, you know, if I'm honest, a lot of my love for LEGO has gone away just given the way things have gone, you know, the focus on all the larger, more expensive sets. People are getting a lot more, you know, opinionated and extreme in the LEGO sphere. And it's simple things like a new Mrs. Claus variant, you know, that remind me why I enjoy collecting LEGO. Just something simple that makes me happy and brings me back to my childhood. Because I think the reason I still collect LEGO a lot of the time is just to keep me in touch with my youth a little bit. You know, I feel like everyone could benefit from that in their lives. You know, things that make them happy, make them feel young, remind them of their childhood. And I think that's why I still enjoy LEGO. Some sets can still capture that magic, and when it happens, it's really nice. And while as a whole, this advent calendar has been really disappointing, that one day for a moment there captured some of the magic. So, you know, I'm pretty happy with today's entry. Was it a holiday build? No. Am I giving up hope on us getting a holiday build? Yes, very much so. But I can't deny the layout's looking pretty complete. And I kind of like my story with this being on Christmas Day. I can forgive some things. This is still pretty disappointing, but I'm trying to look on the positive side of things. And today was a good day. So I want to thank you all so much for watching. I'm sure I've said that so many times because I've tried to end this video several times and I keep talking. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you in tomorrow's video. Bye-bye.